Hello and welcome back to another beer review on Chris's Beer Reviews. Thank you very much for tuning in to this one. And this is a big beer. It's an expensive beer. This can of beer, which is a 440 millilitre can, is £11.40. I'm sure it's £11.40. Let's have a look. Yeah, £11.40. Coming in at, I believe it's 10% ABV. The ABV is not the issue here. And is the price an issue? And this is my question. Can a beer in a 440ml can, can it realistically ever be worth £11.40 of your finest English pounds? That's a tricky one. And also what I find tricky with this one is it comes out Cloudwater. Now, I'm not the biggest Cloudwater fan. They made some epic beers over the years. They probably still do make some epic beers. But they went into that crazy little phase with Brewdog, where Brewdog brewed a few of their beers for them a couple of years back. And they were all pretty much car crash beers, really. The artwork on them was terrible. They weren't particularly great beers. So it put me off Cloudwater. Now, I know they can make great beers. Now, this one is in collaboration with the Vale Brewing Co. I know nothing about the Vale Brewing Co. I don't know where they're based. I don't know where they are. I've never had anything from the Vale Brewing. But this is their Chubbles range. I think this is called Chubbles 3 Enhanced. I believe there's a bit of hype around, you know, the Chubbles series of beers from Cloudwater, etc. But this is the first one I've ever had. And at £11.40, it does have an untapped rating of, I think, a 4.3 or 4.4, which is a good high rating on untapped. But is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? I mean, I look at the artwork and it actually looks better on your camera than it does in reality. On your camera, on your screen. It's poor, I think. For a can that's £11.40, I want the artwork to look a little bit better than that. And I know it's not about the artwork, it's about how the beer tastes and the experience you're getting from that. And I'm not adverse to paying good money for a good beer. What did I review a while back was a Duvel beer that was rather expensive, but it was outstanding. But that was in a 750 milliliter bottle for a start, whereas this is a can of beer. It's a 440ml can of beer. So are they worth it at that price? Is any beer in a 440ml can worth £11.40 of your finest hard-earned money? And that's why I bought it. I wanted to think, well, not think, I wanted to see, is it worth it? We're 3 minutes in. Let's get this open. Let's have a look. Let's see what it's all about. Before we do that, what did irritate me as well, considering the price of it, as well as the bland artwork, was just that. You know, just a lack of any information on the side, just tiny little writing. That really irritated me as well. For that sort of money, I want to know what hops are in there, and I want to know the detail of what's in there. But it's not. So it's not a good start. It really is not a good start. But again, it comes down to what's in the can, the aromas, the taste, the experience. That's what it comes down to. So let's pour it. Let's have a look. You know, at that kind of ABV, we're not really going to get much of a head. But we're getting a little one there, and that looks thick, and it looks juicy. That looks... Look at the colour of that. Look how thick that looks. But when you pour it out the can, it doesn't look particularly thick. I'm going to put it up on here. You're going to get a great eyeful of that. And like I say, the artwork on your screen looks okay, but in reality it isn't. But look at that. I mean, that is pure chicken stock, isn't it? Absolutely pure chicken stock. Nothing else I can say about that. Let's get on the aromas. Let's see how she's sniffing. And you see, this is this is my issue. I don't want to rant. This isn't about having a rant. But that aroma is nothing new. For an £11.40 beer, I want that aroma to blow me away, and it absolutely doesn't. It's like, you know, a double IPA rather than a triple IPA, which is what this is. you know, it's pungent in terms of it's fruity, pungent fruit. It's quite lively. And maybe I went a bit quick because now the aroma is starting to develop. There's dankness to it. There's hoppiness to it. There's pepperiness to it. There's citrus and stone fruits. Grapefruit. Okay, I'll take it back. The aroma's pretty large actually. Let's taste it. Look how thick that looks. Look how chicken stocky that is. That's ridiculous. Let's taste it. That's dank. Oh, does this got a, I bet it hasn't got a brewed on date, has it? Well, it might have, but I'm not going to tip that over because... No, I don't think it has. Well, there's quite a few dates under there. I think there is a can date, but I can't quite see it without pouring beer out. It's a bit green. It's a little bit green. The body's pretty decent. I was expecting bigger on the body. This could be a long video. This could go over 10 minutes. That is remarkably drinkable for 10% ABV. Props for that. That is ridiculously drinkable for 10%. The mouthfeel is not as big as I was expecting. I've had some triple IPAs where I drink them and I think, core. I'll have a couple of mouthfuls and I think, core, that's immense, that's big, that's going to take me a while to drink. This will not take me very long to drink, and it's super carbonated. The mouthfeel is nowhere near as bold as I was expecting. I burped, as you heard. That's come back with lots of grassiness, herbal kind of hops repeating. Not a bad thing. It's very dank. A little bit of, maybe a little bit resinous, but it's peppery, massively hoppy, big kind of herbal vibes to it, which I like. That is right up my street. Sweet citrus, lemon, lime, grapefruit, smallest element of orange, but sitting in there is some tropical fruit as well, certainly mango in abundance. A little bit sticky now, it's getting a little bit sticky on the lips. Definitely mango, passiony fruit type vibes, a floral element to it. And it all kind of works. It is very well balanced. It is a decent beer in the sense that it is nicely balanced. The flavours are spot on. They're very clean flavours, very fresh feeling flavours. It is a good beer. Now I've got this all out, but I haven't got my glasses. Can I see the can date? There is a can. Let me just put that tea towel there because a bit is going to drip out. Canned on date, the 2nd of the 4th, is that 25? But then there's a February, no, canned on date, blah blah. It's pretty fresh, I suppose, on the grand scheme of things. I can't see everything on there properly because my eyesight's woeful. Right, look, let's get back to the point. Is that worth £11.40? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like I say, there's a bit of a kind of hype and a vibe around these Chubbles beers from what I understand. And maybe the hype is what is putting that price up there. But absolutely not. That is not worth £11.40 of your money. It's a very good beer. It's absolutely a delightful beer. Oh, I've just had a big wave of fruit then, big wave of mango coming through. dropping into that herbal and floral and peppery bitterness, which is really, really good. There's lots of flavours in there and they all work and it's all well balanced, and I've hit the 10-minute mark, and I don't like really doing 10-minute plus videos, but I think it needed it. Is it worth £11.40? No, it's not. It absolutely isn't. If I paid £8 for it, I wouldn't be overly disappointed. But £11.40 I think is a little bit strong for that. A little bit strong. Cloudwater, they can make some good beers. I haven't had a Cloudwater beer for a long time, as you know. And this doesn't make me want to go back to Cloudwater. So I think there's also another point, is it's a good beer, but it doesn't make me think I must go and try more Cloudwater beers. It doesn't do that for me. I like the repeat, which sounds really strange. When you burp and you repeat it, a lovely hoppiness kind of comes back at you. It's a good beer. It's a balanced beer. It's got lots of good flavours to it. It's an enjoyable beer. The mouthfeel's just not big enough for 10%. That's an issue. At 10%, I want a bigger mouthfeel than that. But what it does kind of do is make it very, very drinkable, which makes it very, very dangerous. But then you're not going to go and buy a load of those to have a session on, because you're going to be absolutely skint. Look, we're 11.5 minutes in. It's not worth £11.40. That's a fact. It's a good beer. Does it match up to that 4.3%? 4.3%? That 4.3 on Untapped? Maybe. Who am I to say? We all taste things differently. There you go. I'm done. See you soon.